Hello students, let us start off with the second video of the chapter Diversity in Living Organisms. Let us first discuss the topic Hierarchy of Classification. The word classification is familiar to you. What does this mean? It means grouping organisms into various categories on the basis of certain criteria, or we can say on the basis of their similarities and differences. It was Aristotle who first tried to classify organisms into various groups, and the basis he took was habitat, but this was not very acceptable. Therefore, this system of classification was discarded later on. After many years, Robert Whittaker, Ernest Haeckel and Carl Woese came up with a system of classification, and they divided organisms into 5 kingdoms. Let us see what was the basis of Robert Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification. It was based on cell structure, mode and source of nutrition, and body organization. Now the 5 kingdoms according to Robert Whittaker are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Later on, Carl Woese divided this kingdom Monera into 2, that is archaic bacteria and eubacteria. Archaic bacteria means primitive and eubacteria means advanced or modern or evolved bacteria. Now, this classification is done by grouping organisms into various subgroups, and these subgroups are given names so that we can identify each subgroup by that particular name. Let us see how these subgroups are divided. Starting from kingdom, followed by phylum or division. Phylum in the case of animals and division in the case of plants. Followed by class, order, family, genus and then species. Therefore, species is known as the basic unit of classification, while kingdom is the highest unit of classification. Now let us see what are the details of these 5 kingdoms. First of all, Monera. They are also called as Monerans. Kingdom Monera. And all the organisms belonging to this kingdom are known as Monerans. Monerans are usually unicellular, prokaryotic. They are either heterotrophic or autotrophic. Some of the members have cell walls, but some do not. Now the various groups coming under Monerans are blue-green algae, which is otherwise known as cyanobacteria. And we have 2 examples for this, that is Anabaena and nostoc. Then the other group is bacteria and also mycoplasma. Now what are these mycoplasma? Mycoplasma are also a group of bacteria, but they do not have cell walls. Next, let us see Protista, kingdom Protista, and the organisms belonging to this group are known as protistans. They are eukaryotic, unicellular. They can be either heterotrophic or autotrophic. And most of them have appendages. Now what is the function of these appendages? Appendages help in movement as well as to capture the prey. The various groups that are found in the group Monera are unicellular algae, example Chlamydomonas, diatoms. Diatoms are also single-celled algae, but the speciality is that the cell wall is transparent and is made of silica. And this cell wall is intricately designed. The last group is protozoans. Protozoans you might be very familiar because we have been studying the various examples. They are amoeba, paramecium and euglena. Amoeba, the appendage is pseudopodia. In case of paramecium, it is cilia, and euglena, it is a whip-like structure called flagella. Next, let us see fungi. Next kingdom is fungi. Coming under fungi are molds, mushrooms, yeast and lichens. What are the specialities about this particular group? Fungi, kingdom fungi. They are heterotrophic, saprophytic. That is the most important feature. Though they are heterotrophic, they are coming under the subdivision saprophytic. That means they live on dead and decaying matter. They are eukaryotic, and most of them at their later stages become multicellular. The cell wall in case of fungi is made up of a complex tough substance or complex tough sugar, which is known as chitin. Once again, the cell wall is made up of a tough complex sugar called chitin. And there is a special group of organisms under fungi. It is a combination of blue-green algae and fungi. The fungal cells provide protection to the algal cells, while the algal cells, since they are green in color, they perform photosynthesis. Such a combination of algal and fungal cells is known as lichens, and the mode of nutrition followed by them is known as symbiotic mode of nutrition. And these organisms can be called as symbionts. Lichens are symbionts, and lichens are indicators of pollution. Next group is Plantae. It's a very large group. They are autotrophic. That's the most important feature of them. That means they can prepare their own food. They are eukaryotic and multicellular. Next is, and also another very important feature about Plantae, they have cell walls. Cell wall is made of cellulose. We have already studied in the chapter Cell, the Fundamental Unit of Life. Next is Animalia. Animalia, all the organisms belonging to Animalia are heterotrophs, or they follow heterotrophic mode of nutrition. That means they depend on other organisms for their nutritional needs. Another important feature is that they do not have cell walls. The outermost covering of the cell is cell membrane. And they are multicellular and eukaryotic. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you.